Material items, a gateway for promoting and advertising to be taken to extremes. Why is it that you have to buy into the hottest, sexiest, or most up-to-date items when they're being promoted by women? That creates an ideal standard, among young women especially, to strive for.
To promote their company.
So they can make money.
The media wants to make money.
They're trying to make money.
Everyone says that sex sells, and it really does.
I think media's traditionally kind of always used sex appeal as a way to sell because as a species it sort of subconsciously gets our attention. They probably have research that proves that, and so they're always going for the money, and they'll do whatever it takes to make that sale.
Young women especially are being bombarded with all these ads and promotions of buying the cutest, the sexiest, the most up-to-date versions of clothing or makeup even. And what does that really do to young girls?
It changes the way they are and how everybody thinks of them.
They're just trying to make them look older.
I think it makes the young girls more reliant on the up-to-date stuff instead of being reliable on their natural self.
What do young girls do? They hold themselves up to that standard. And it's not really a standard so much as it's an illusion.
Or what if you don't have the perfect butt, or the perfect abs, or the perfect legs?
You could be made fun of, or you could just think low about yourself.
They go on diets.
They'll just try to make themselves look different than they used to.
What is perfect these days?
Skinny, tall, long legs.
Big boobs, big ass.
Pretty face, no acne.
Skinny. And watches her weight on what she eats. That's what the media wants.
Back in the early 1900s, thicker women were viewed as coming from a wealthy family and eating very well. Nowadays, you have to look like the girls on the cover of magazines like 17, Cosmo, even Marie Claire.
The sexual objectification of women in media has really had a negative effect on society because women are put under this pressure to look like the girls on the cover of the magazines, and they'll take an international supermodel and then make her even thinner and airbrush her skin even more perfect and take away her blemishes and airbrush everything. So it's unrealistic. It's a level of perfection that's unrealistic, and it's so splattered everywhere. It's embedded in our psyche, I think.
Is the greater majority of young girls in our society today like that ideal body form?
Not in America, but in other countries, yeah.
Not all of them. Some do.
I'd say most girls have a different type of body form.
How do we as young women avoid these images when we're constantly being exposed to them?
Cool programming by MTV, by the networks, where they can have that alternative representation.
There should be a limit in the media.
We ignore those things. We just focus on other stuff like school.
Not trying to let the media control what we want to look like.
If the average woman is, say, 135 pounds, but the media constantly promotes women who are 115 pounds, but the greater majority in real life is that women are more towards the 135 pounds, shouldn't we be promoting the greater majority of women?
Yes, because everyone should be unique and different.
I think that it should just let people have their own body. Don't support one kind of body, because then the people that don't have it is going to be like, oh, I don't have it, I'm not perfect. Then you're just going to make a whole lot of people feel bad about themselves.
I don't exactly think the media should stop what they're doing. I think they should just branch out and possibly get like more faces, more body types, and like show that they accept everyone and you don't have to look this exact certain way.
If the majority of the girls in society are big boned, then show that body off.
How do we avoid the feelings that come along with being exposed to these images?
Whatever the media intake, book, magazine, video, YouTube, whatever. I think a woman or a man or anybody who just has a sense of self can see through all that crap. If you know who you are, you can't be manipulated. If you know exactly who you are and what you are and you're confident being that, and that takes a lot of intestinal fortitude, a lot of self-searching, a lot of just getting to know yourself and not being told who you think you should be based on all the images that we see.
Some people go to therapy for it because they're exposed to it every minute of the day. Right? It's everywhere. It's on magazines, it's on billboards, it's on posters, it's in movies, especially on music.
Act like, okay, it's there, but doesn't mean I have to conform to that.
Just realize that you're an individual and you don't need to look a certain way to be accepted.